Oh, it's been a while, but we are back and welcome to Grumpy Old Reds. Coming up in tonight's episode, we will be talking about the ticket price saga, the one that's just won't go away. The arguments are still rife on I was going to say TikTok. What's it called? Twitter. We're going to be talking about the ground development delay. And then, of course, we're going to get into the predictions and we're going to see how your predictions have stacked up so far since we last reviewed them. Welcome to Forest Fan TV. Good morning, good evening, or good night. How are you guys in the chat? How are you guys on the panel? It's good to see you all. Hope you're well. Hope you're enjoying. Is it the weekend today? I've lost track of time. What is today? Saturday. I can't deal with
football that's doing it.
That's the thing. I can't deal with no football, man. It sets my body clock to it. So it's good to see you boys. It's good to see the guys in the chat. Let's get some hellos in the chat. How are you guys? Start thinking. We're going to start with the pricing debate. So start getting your thoughts in on that in a second. There's loads of messages in the chat. Where should we start? I'm just going to go fresh messages first. Martin, how you doing? Good evening, people. Looking forward to some scintillating conversation. Well, you may be tuned into the wrong channel, buddy, but appreciate the sentiment.
We'll try.
The other Martin spelt correctly. This international break is utter bullshit. Wood flies to New Zealand and should stay there. Aurier injured. Yeah, we'll talk about those as well. Misky, how you doing? Good to see you in there. Crypto Rider, I hope you've got your ticket for your Surge Aurier frame top. Remember, if you hit ticket number 4, you will get Warrell, and I know Crypto, you want that one, so good luck. Longhead Yeti, good to see you there. Knowing my luck, I'll wear that Warrell shirt. Everyone's going on about it. There's a McKenna one as well. Look, it's signed, it's worth it. Mark, how are you, buddy? Wolverine and Dina, good to see you. Mark, evening to the other Mark. They come in pairs, mate. We got Martins, we got Marks, we got Ants, we got one spacebar though. Evening spacebar. Hope you're well. So many highs, and we got to get cracking. But Simon's saying, evening all, no season ticket cost talk, please. We got to just touch on it because Ant needs to have his say. Crypto's saying, if I win the Warrell shirt, anyway, each of their own. Evening Viking. All right. Get your thoughts in on there. Yeah, Aurier, not Oreo. And we've had... who's going to lose their shit first? And let me just set the scene, right? So, it's come out that Forest have had to increase their price. This has come from the Greek father himself, with on average it being a 20% increase across the board. Bearing in mind the prices were pretty much frozen or just slightly off inflation last season. In fact, for the last few seasons they've been like that, yeah? And bear in mind we've gone through a COVID lockdown where there was no revenue coming from seats as well. You could say that the fan base got split on age. So my generation were upset because we will no longer get the concession prices until we're 23. And, you know, your generation...
OAP one, Wolverine. Huh? Is that the OAP one?
Shut up.
It's closer, trust me.
And anyone over my age, or 2 years over my age, who's 23 and above, will basically have to now pay full price. Is this fair, Ant? And should Marinakis and co be doing it? And where do you sit on it? And chat, we're going to get a vote in for you guys as well. Over to you, Ant.
Yeah, well, I'm going to disappoint anybody that's expecting to go off on this one because genuinely, I can see why people see both sides of it. So I'll start off on the people that are upset, which are mainly the 18 to 23-year-olds, I believe. It's unfortunate, but it's life, you know. We at Forest have been lucky for many years to have amongst the lowest price tickets in any division we've been in. And that's a fact. You know, teams that are far smaller than us and get far smaller crowds than us have charged a lot more than us. We're in the Premier League now. This is a different beast we're talking about. You can't expect if you go to a cafe and have a meal, you expect to pay a certain price. If you then go to a Michelin star restaurant and have a meal, you expect to pay more because the standards are different. Now, people might say we're shit. Okay, fair enough. But the fact of the matter is, you're seeing the best.
We're a cafe in a Michelin star restaurant.
You could say that. We're seeing the best players in the world, on the whole. Maybe not for us, but certainly for other teams. So you have to pay for it. And also, it's reality. Marinakis has supported us with immense amounts of cash when we were struggling, when we were losing £100,000 a week. He was putting his own money in. So we've got to realign the ticket prices. The other point I'd like to make, really, and it's something that does wind me up a little bit. I've read over and over again, it's not fair. Okay, I'd like a Ferrari, can't afford one. It's not fair. That's point number one.
Chat, if you'd like to help Ant get a Ferrari, just hit that $sign.
Point number two, I cannot understand this thing about they can't afford it, whereas people that are older than 23 can. Let me paint you a scenario. You've got a 21-year-old lad who works in the city, earning an absolute fortune, got no responsibilities, lives at home with his mum and dad. How much disposable income does he have? Then you compare that to a middle-aged man who's got a mortgage, low-paid job, 2 kids to support. Is he really going to have more disposable income than a 22-year-old lad? I don't really think so. So why is it unfair? Why is it fair for a 40-year-old man to have to pay full price with all the responsibilities he has to pay out for, compared with a 21-year-old lad living at home with mum and dad who's got no responsibilities to pay out for? Why is that fair? I don't get it. So they're my thoughts on it. I don't want to go. We don't want to spend all night talking about it, but that's how I feel about it. I think the whole thing, and you know what? It'll all blow over because everybody, if you supported another club, you'd be paying in general more than you're paying at Forest.
Yeah, but okay, I see that side of the argument. But you can understand their frustration in a way. But is it more entitlement that they're crying about, or do they have a case? I mean, Dino, what are your thoughts on this?
Where are we in the league ranking of season ticket prices? I've not seen that.
Second cheapest currently. If you base it against the most expensive price, we're the second cheapest. 500 and something. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. If you base it on the cheapest prices, we're about 5th cheapest. Bear in mind, Southampton are the second most expensive.
Didn't we actually freeze it last year when we were in the Championship from the year before? I can't remember. Yeah. It was one of the years we actually froze it. So if they would have made incremental gains, then it probably wouldn't have looked so bad. My opinion is it's a business at the end of the day, but I've got a bit of a switch opinion on this. It is a business at the end of the day, and they've got to get revenue. But I'm sorry, I'm going to bring this up. We bought Wood for 19 million. Now, I know that's probably paid over several years, but surely the fans that follow Forest home and away and they keep waxing lyrical, we all keep waxing lyrical about our supporters. They're amazing. They're the best supporters in the country. And the manager comes out every time and says that. It would have been nice not to buy Wood and actually just frozen the prices again, or less of an increase. I understand the increase because I'm a businessman myself, so I do understand it. And I cannot fault Marinakis for what he's done for this club.
Yeah, but Dino, you can't just look. As much as I think Wood is an utter waste of 19 mil. That's not connected, though, to the season ticket price, is it? I mean, it's all going to be on loss and gain per month. That's the thing, as the balance sheet goes through. So Wood will be 19 million, but as you rightly mentioned, it's probably going to be over 3 years or 4 years. So it's all about getting that balance and loss for each month. That's
just one example of 20 million potentially available there to put towards making it less of an impact.
I know you're saying.
I don't understand this 23 thing and above. I think if you're going to do it, I think you should do it across the board, because I do understand Ant's point, but Ant did make a quite extreme point that young person working in the city, living at home, they're not all like that. There's people struggling with their first mortgage or struggling paying the rent under 23. It's not exclusive to under 23s are rich and the rest are poor. other way around. Sorry, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're not saying it's Chris Wood's fault. 1865. We're using him
No,
as
I'm
the
not.
example.
I'm using that as an example.
We're using
I'm not,
him as the
definitely not
example.
blaming Chris
Can
Wood.
I
I'm
just
blaming.
quickly-
I'm blaming some of the. Sorry, let me finish this. I'm blaming that we've got surplus players that we've not used. You know, we've I'm sure we paid a loan fee for Bardet, didn't we? Didn't get him for free.
Well, if you
Well,
look
he
at
never
the
played.
one who
So
went to
there's a load of
Olympiacos,
people that we can point
yeah,
to.
Huang Wan, whatever his name is,
Yeah,
that guy that went to
there's something
Olympiacos,
dodgy there. I think that's more for
that was
I don't know,
4.5 mil.
FFP
You know,
or something. I'm not sure what's going on there. I mean, there's obviously some balance in between the two clubs, Marinakis' clubs, obviously.
yeah.
You know, so he was never coming to Forest ever.
And I want you to jump in, but I just wanted, this poll is crazy. It's literally split 3 ways. So I've asked, should the concession prices have been removed? 31 said yes, 34 said no, and 35 said not bothered. Pretty much split down the middle. I'll leave that open for a little bit.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean,
Just wait, and before you jump in, there's also the other thing that's split. We've already got over 120 of you in here and 35 likes. Please hit that like button before we get deep into this conversation.
I'd love Worrell's shirt, long-haired Yeti. I'd love Worrell's shirt. Sorry.
Anyway, go on, Ant. Jump in.
Yeah, I was just going to reply to something that Dino said. I wasn't for 1 second suggesting that all 21-year-olds are in a good financial position and all 40-year-olds
You
aren't.
gave that as an extreme example, and it wasn't representative.
My point was, being 21 doesn't necessarily mean you have less disposable income than being 35 or 40. It really doesn't.
Correct.
Yeah, that was my point.
Okay.
The other thing I was going to say, which comes down on the side of concessions and price, not having a price rise, is that I don't know how accurate it is, but I read that the price rises will give Forest an extra £4 million a year, which is nothing to a Premier League club. Now, it's a very strange thing because I've maintained for a long time they could actually easily give tickets away for free because what you get through attendances is a drop in the ocean to what you actually get. Mm. But it's supply and demand. You know, it's bad enough as it is getting a ticket. So can you imagine if all the tickets were £10? The riots in the street.
Or free, it'd be crazy.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because, as I say, £4 million is nothing. Literally, I mean, you've just quoted some examples here of how we've chucked money down the drain. So £4 million to Forest is nothing, really. But you've got to at some point.
It's more than 4 mil, Ant. It's more than 4 mil. That's the 4 mil profit. You know what I'm saying? That's the extra.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Plus the base.
They could have not had that price rise.
Only
which is nothing. But you can't run a business like that, can you? You know, you've got to charge for people to come in, and it's a difficult one.
And I'm sure FFP's got something to do with it as well, hasn't it?
There's been times in the past when people haven't been able to afford a ticket. Anybody, lots of people, not just 18 to 23-year-olds. It's life. It's life,
Yeah. Crypto saying, I think when I was working at Sky, it was 20 mil a match, if I can remember rightly, something crazy like that. Bloody hell. Yeah, because it's 180 across the season, isn't it, for Sky?
Yeah. That's Sky money, not attendance money.
Yeah, exactly. Look, the bottom line is it's supply and demand, as you say. But more importantly, I think Cooper's line is the most fitting here. Next man up. Because whether you like it or not, hey, look at that, the new animation. Adam shouts.
Hey, congrats, Adam. You got the new animation.
There you go, Adam. Thank you so much for being a member. We won't miss any of your super chats or new members. Thank you so much, Adam. You're absolute legend. Appreciate that, buddy.
Got another quick point as well. Oh dear, I'm going to get myself into hot water here. A lot of these 21-year-olds, and I say 21 because I'm kind of in the middle, how much do they pay for concert tickets? Just saying.
I don't know. I haven't been to a concert since Backstreet Boys.
60 quid, mate. 60 quid. No, I'm complaining about that.
It's more than that, mate. I had to go. Quick story. I'm not joking. It was Backstreet Boys. I took my missus for her birthday with my sister and another mate. They all liked Backstreet Boys. Anyway, I did it for her birthday. It was 60 quid a ticket, yeah, in the O2, and it was row Z, but it wasn't row Z. It was row ZZ, right? So you ended up in the nosebleeds, right? And then it was easier just to watch it on the screen because they look like
Yeah, people
insects
do.
on the bottom. It's like, what was the point? What was the point, man? Backstreet's back all right, isn't it, Pat? Yeah. And then just one more quick story, right? And then I thought I'd treat her because I'm such a good caring husband. I took her for, it was an anniversary, so I can't remember what it was. She wanted to go to the West End. I'd never been before, right? So I was like, what one looks the least boring out of all these shows? And there's like Cats, Wicked, all this crap. I was like, all right, Lord of the Rings, I'm sure they'll be fighting and crap, right? Anyway, so took her to that, paid for the expensive seats, 120 a seat, yeah? And it was cramped. And I got in there and they started singing. I was like, what the hell are they doing, man? They just started singing and dancing and crap. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, I looked at the program notes, it's like 3 hours. I was like, for God's sake, I ain't surviving this, man. Anyway, sorry.
You should have gone Rocky Horror Show, mate. Much more fun.
I just can't deal with that.
And you can get dressed up in stockings and suspenders as well. It's well worth it.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so that's that on this stuff. Let's get some of the notes. Mate. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. 1865. That's just life, man. That's life. Sometimes. Yeah. I've had to watch Frozen with my daughter about 100 times. Tim's saying 23 to watch Stag, which is your closest team. That's expensive. That's expensive. But I remember when I was watching Forest, when we went Div 1, man, the tickets were still about 25, 26 quid on the door. It wasn't cheap. So, I don't think it's that far out of order to have these.
Yeah, and what about all the people that unfortunately can't get season tickets, so having to pay up to nearly 40 quid a match?
Exactly. I mean, so,
how terrifying is that? £40 a match. You got 2 matches in a week, 80 quid.
Yeah, I remember those 1 quidders as well on the student ones. They were. See, the golden NUS card I had back in the day, man, that was just gold, man.
Come on, move on, you bloody old man. We can't talk in farthings and sixpences. Come on, let's move on.
All I'm saying is it was kids for £1, I think. It wasn't £1. Huh?
Kids for £1, yeah.
Yeah, kids for £1. But we used to get in the Brian Clough stand for a tenner, right by the Trent end with the golden NUS. Yeah, it was 10 quid. It was 10 quid. Yeah, and it was. So, prices are what they are. But anyway, I don't want to over milk this because we've had our say. I understand why everyone's gripe, who's got the gripes and who hasn't, right? Shut up, long-haired, you're not funny. The one that I think I have more sympathy with is the age bracket, the older concession, where technically they're retiring.
I wish I fucking was.
I mean, do you have more sympathy with that age rather than the younger age? Because they're retiring, they're probably like, and has to use the blue pill these days.
Not many more matches to go.
All that stuff, exactly.
More days to go, mate, for you.
I'll tell you what, the one thing I do actually kind of agree with is that I think it's really naughty when you're putting prices up before you are telling people the quality of the product, i.e., it could be in the Championship or it could be in the Premier League. That to me is wrong. It's not what?
It's not wrong.
Of course it's not. I go back to my analogy. You go into Michelin star restaurant, you pay the money, and they say, "Oh, actually, we closed you have to go around the corner for your cafe." But I've just paid for a Michelin star meal. Well, sorry.
Yeah, but that's not the same kind of analogy.
Oh, it is.
This is different because you could argue it 2 ways. You could argue it 2 ways. Firstly, it has to go in before April for the new financial year. There's one thing. And then secondly, if you are this so-called true fan, home and away, the super reds as they want to declare themselves, what does it matter what league Forest are in?
It does matter because of the quality of the product you're getting.
I'm just saying, if you want to go down that route.
The home products or the away products, the Forest products or the teams that come here.
Well, it's a mixture, isn't it? Well, it's the game. It's the quality of football. And it is different. Don't try telling me that it's not better in the Premier League than it is in Championship because I'm sorry, but it is better. The fact that we're crap is immaterial. The product is actually better.
Oh yeah, the league is better.
It is
definitely better. Yeah.
And again, if you want to take a different analogy, you go to the theatre. You're going to be a bit pissed off. You pay 150 quid to see Gwyneth Paltrow in a play, and it turns out to be Forrest from around the corner. I'm just thinking of an actress, mate. and it turns out to be Doris from the amateur dramatics playing instead.
Dot from EastEnders. Yeah, but this is a great point by Mark. Same is true for the reverse of last season. We didn't know if we were going up or not for definite, and they froze the prices.
Yeah, I know, but we froze them. So they would have been the same this year. Well, happy days.
Anyway, it's an interesting discussion. I don't want to over milk it because we've got to get on to the next bit. Simon's saying, I agree, and you're having to pay Prem prices for why not be Premiership football. But technically, Forest will need the money more next season. All right, let's move on from that. The only one thing I will say, Sarah put up a comment here about £10. Yeah, what a bargain. I'll tell you now, we were moaning about it being £10 back in our student days, yeah, especially when the kids were getting in for £1 on the cup matches. So it's all relative to where you're sitting. So, just bear that one in mind because £10 was a lot, man.
There was a lot of trouble with kids for £1 because a lot of the season tickets were saying, hold on a sec, we've paid a certain amount per match and they're getting it for £1. That ain't fair.
Yeah, but it was the cup matches. It was the cup matches.
No, it wasn't.
I remember.
I can promise you it was not cup matches. I can promise you that. I'd take my son if it was £1.
I remember him for the cup matches. But I'm old enough to remember. 2 to 6. What?
2 and 6.
2 and
2 to
6.
6. 2 and 6. God, you really are 21, Wolverine.
I am 21. Okay, we got to get on to the next topic, which is the delay of the building of the stadium. Yeah. Dina, I kind of want to come to you on this, but I want to come to Ant on this, but I feel like you haven't had a word for a while. But I know he's going to explode if I don't go to him. Yeah, so Ant, on this one, I know we hadn't really talked about it, Ant, but I know it annoyed you. And in the chat, I want your thoughts on it. Is this relevant to where we are in the league, do you think, or is it just looking too much into it? What are your thoughts on this one, Ant?
I'll be very brief on this because this has really fucked me off, right? First of all, it's been delayed by a year. They snuck that information out. I didn't see a lot of publicity about it or a lot of mentions about it.
We did here on FFTV, mate.
Yeah, I know, but it kind of snuck out beneath the radar. So that's number one. That raises a red flag for me straight away. Secondly, it means another year of this fucking ticketing chaos that we've had. That we can't. That is stressful for fans that haven't got a season ticket or they've got bronze membership, so they can't always get ticket. It's very stressful for people. And now there's another year of it. Thirdly, why the fucking hell is it being delayed? They are lying. They are lying to us. They are coming out with the most pathetic, ridiculous excuses imaginable. I spent 5 hours of my valuable time watching the planning permission thing. All these issues were addressed. And what they come out now is, we're not sure where the boat club are going. Come on, another year? No, the reason they're doing it is because they're shit scared of getting relegated. That's the reason they're doing it. And I am so annoyed. I've been waiting a long time for that crappy, shitty, embarrassing excuse for a stand to be knocked down and something decent rebuilt. I finally thought we were getting there. I trusted Mr. Marinakis. I loved the guy. But on this occasion, I think he's fucked us.
Interesting. Dean, I want your thoughts on it as well. Just very quickly. Sean says, hi guys, sorry I've had some personal family issues to deal with and I need to re-become a member again. Sean, you become a member in and out when you want, buddy. You're absolutely welcome. So I hope everything's all right with...
Yeah.
Sorry, Dean?
I hope everything's okay, Sean.
Literally what I was saying as well. So hopefully everything's all right, Sean. And we're here for you, buddy. You got my number. Or our number, should I say. Give us a message if there's anything we can do to help. Sarah saying she agrees with Ant. Jolly Ollie saying 2, right, Ant? Jan saying only going to be built if we stay up 100%. Simon saying...
Sorry, but very, very quickly on that, because it's important. In the planning permission, they actually asked what would happen if Forest get relegated? And the answer was, we still want to go ahead. This is for the future of the club, not just for now. Okay? Fibbers.
Tim gifted 10 memberships. Wow. Bloody hell, Tim. You crazy mofo. Oh my God.
I'd rather have gifted £10 towards my Ferrari.
Thank you.
Reed, make sure you thank Tim. You're all going to come up on the screen now.
Well,
Screen.
Lewis, Patrick.
They're all going to come up.
Yep, nice.
Pack C3 Love United. Congratulations. You've just become a member.
Unity.
Who we got now? Icy. Congratulations, Icy. Go make sure you're thanking Tim, guys. What an absolute legend. And they're going to keep coming. Patrick, congratulations. You've become a member as well. Tim, you're gonna break our new system, Tim, already. Thank you so much, Tim. You're really testing it to the limits. Lewis, congratulations. Make sure you thank Tim the man. And they're still coming. They're still coming. Bloody Mark H, congratulations. Again, make sure you thank Tim for becoming a member. This will get you all the perks. This will get you all the perks. And now what?
It's becoming the Tim show.
This has gone crazy.
So he's jammed it, look. He's jammed it. Yeah, he's jammed it.
Yeah, Tim, you broke it, Tim. Thanks, but no thanks, Tim.
No, thank you. Thanks for breaking it. It's great. Thank you. Right, what were we talking about? Yes, the ground.
The ground,
the stadium expansion. Right, I'm going to talk for a little bit to give Ant a bit of a break. There you go. He's gone, look.
Go.
See ya. Oh, he's back. What's that you've got in your hand? My opinion is it was all on. Okay. Obviously, Marinakis gave Cooper the long contracts just after the World Cup. And he apparently, if all the reports are right, he's approached the ex-Atletico manager, hasn't he? Who's turned them down. That's what we hear. They're the rumours anyway. Fairly strong.
I don't know
rumours.
if I believe it, but okay, go on.
But yeah, I mean, no smoke without fire for me. So
hold on, Dino. £4.13 from Adrian. £4.99. Thank you so much with the keep it up emoji.
£4.13, Adrian Roos.
Thank you so much. You guys are way too generous. We've missed you. We really have. Sorry, go ahead, Dino.
I think that it was on, and I think because we started to plummet in the last few weeks, I think that's why they put it off, because they won't do it. With the amount of money they've spent on transfers, they're going to have a hell of a lot of movement next year. They've obviously got the balloon payment if we go down, but there'll be a lot of players going out, and it'll be a financial mess, I think, which is why I don't think they're putting anything else into it. And I think that's why the delay is. I think we need it because somebody said earlier we could fill 45,000 easy, I think.
Yeah.
Easy.
But it's only going to go up to 38. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just feels small for 100 mil, 8K seats. What I'll say is, at least the facilities would be upgraded. My take on this is it has to be done come what may. Because that stand is shocking, man. The facilities in there are terrible. It doesn't look good anymore. It looks aged, doesn't it? Especially now we're in...
It's embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, some of the best times I've had are in the A block, but it's just... Even having like a restricted view from pillars these days, it just annoys me, you know? So you shouldn't have that in stadiums.
The old Trent End was a shed, but that was an amazing atmosphere behind the goal.
It was.
Yeah, but you're looking back at it with nostalgia.
Oh, mate, it was so loud, singing. Such a cowshed. It's great.
Yeah, but you're looking back at it with nostalgia.
I didn't actually see much of football.
I think that's the old one, wasn't it, Dr. Fogg? I think that was the original one where we saw the illustrations of it, didn't we? That was a few years back. And then they did a deal with the council, didn't they, that they can expand. Right. So we're staying at the City Ground as far as I know.
Yeah, we are.
Are you saying something, man?
No, just saying we are staying at the City Ground. I think it's a 99-year lease now. So, and we should stay at the City Ground. We're one of the last of the proper football grounds left in this country. And by the way, that was built in 1967, not the war, incidentally.
Anyway, the Peter Taylor stud. Okay. Sharky says, Cooper must be pissed off the Godfather has approached another manager. Okay, let's start touching onto the actual footballing subjects now. Okay. And we're going to bring up your guys' predictions in a second. We're going to have a look through our predictions as well and see where everything was way back when we did it a few weeks ago. I personally don't buy this story. The reason I don't buy it is because I don't think Marinakis would only have one candidate. I think it'd have 2 or 3, in my opinion. Do I think maybe he's sizing a few out? Yes. But I think that Cooper may be in trouble if we lose to Wolves. That's my thoughts. And I think that would be too late for me. If it was gonna, as I've always stuck to it, if Cooper was gonna go, he should have gone before the World Cup. Now it's too late for me. But if he does go and lose Wolves and say Leeds, I can't not see Marinakis panicking and pulling a trigger. I don't know how you guys feel about it. What do you guys think in the chat? Is Cooper's neck on the line here at all? And is this Wolves match bigger than we really think?
I'm a bit mixed with this because I spoke with you, didn't I, Wolverine, earlier on in the season about if everybody's saying, well, if he go down, he's the best man to bring us back up. I honestly don't think he'll be here if he goes down. I think he'll move to another job, and I think people will be very pissed off. I don't think loyalty is as prevalent as you might think it is in football. The days of Steve Bull, who played for Wolves all his career, are kind of gone those days. I mean, you can have an argument for Kane stopping at Tottenham and not winning anything, but I actually think if we go down and keep Cooper, I think he'll go for the next available big job. It's not like he's not got people sniffing around him in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure he'll go. I'm not sure. I don't know where Marinakis' head is with this. I mean, obviously, if the rumours are true about him approaching someone else, then I think you're right. He may be gone if we get a bad result or two. But
my thoughts.
And then I think he's hoping for the new manager bounce, isn't he, or no manager bounce even?
Yeah, the panic manager bounce. Go on, Aaron. What's your thoughts on this one?
Right, my thoughts on this is, and listen, I know I could be wrong and naive or whatever. But I don't think Steve Cooper. I'll try that again. I don't think Steve Cooper would leave if he went down. I think he genuinely does love he might do. I mean, I can't say he won't. Depends on what he gets offered. But I believe he genuinely does love this club, and he would stay in the hope of bringing us back if he was given the opportunity, which I think he probably would be. I'm very sceptical about these reports about us approaching another manager.
Yeah, same as.
It's a very dangerous thing for a chairman to do, for an owner to do. And that's got to unsettle the manager that's there. I don't. Again, I might be naive. I might be wrong. I think it's paper talk because it's a slow week. I don't really think that actually happened. I also don't think that he'll be sacked. I think he's well aware of the. I mean, let's put it this way: if we do lose those two matches and the crowd changes, which I don't think it will, then I think he could move. But I think
he's got a lot of support. I don't think he will either. Can I just answer to Adam? Sorry, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to say that. If we go down, I think he'll go of his own accord to another job. Me and Wolverine spoke about this months ago now, didn't we? About this thing, and I think we both agreed that loyalty's not that hot anymore. I think he'll be gone.
I mean,
I think the fans are more loyal to him than him to the fans. I know, I know that's controversial to say, but I wouldn't hold it against him.
I don't think you've got any evidence of that whatsoever. He always said how much of the fans being more loyal to him than vice versa. He has always.
He's got a huge amount of support. Even
let Aaron get his point in, Dino. Go on.
Yeah. He's always expressed his gratitude to the fan support. To the
I'm not saying that.
What it is. I think that's a little disingenuous to suggest that he's got.
No. You miss it.
He wouldn't move if Real Madrid came in for him.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making. If Pep were to leave Man City tomorrow and the Arabs called up Cooper to offer him the Man City job, he's taking it.
We'll never know that because that's not going to happen, is it?
No, it's not about, don't do this whole never know, don't know thing, right? If that happened, he would go. And I would be happy for him because what a job that would be. Yeah. You wouldn't begrudge him it. If Southgate got sacked tomorrow and they called Cooper would take it.
Yeah.
That's my point about the loyalty. It's not complete. He's got to be career minded. Exactly what David said there. He's got to be career minded.
Yeah, I agree with that. But you've got to look at the kind of clubs that would come in for him. They're not going to be the top clubs. They really aren't.
Spurs are linked to him. Brighton are linked to him.
No, they're not. The papers link it because it's easy.
You know what?
Spurs are not going to Steve Cooper. Okay. End of. All right. They're not. Pochettino, yeah. No, Nagelsmann, yeah. Steve Cooper, no. And he's not going to get that. He's not going to get that level of job. Not a chance.
You know what? I've been critical of Cooper. I hope he does an Arteta. because they were calling for Arteta's head for a long time,
Yeah.
wasn't they? And now look, I really would love to eat my words. I really would, but I see what I see, and I've got an opinion like everyone else, and we don't all agree, and that's what makes this
That's
a
what makes it beautiful
platform for us.
Yeah. The parachute payments are 90 mil, James. They're about half. Let's see what the guys in the chat are saying. Owen's saying Cooper won't get.
That's massive in it. That is more of an advantage in the Championship than 180 is in the Premier League, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why you see the teams go down usually come up, apart from when Forest went down. Owen's saying Cooper won't get sacked. He may leave us at the end of the season, but I don't see him being sacked. It's an interesting take on it. Sarah says, yeah, Cooper may say he loves us, but if Chelsea were to sack their manager, he'd probably go there if they were interested. Yeah, that's the kind of point I'm making.
I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying that it's not likely to happen, is it? They're not likely to go for
Yeah, but that's...
No, but football management is a very fickle thing to be in, and every football manager knows that they could be out of a job within 3 games.
Exactly.
And they've got to look after themselves, and I wouldn't blame Cooper for that.
Steve Cooper.
What I was trying to say on my point was, don't everybody be naive that he's going to be loyal and stay with us next season. Don't be surprised if we do go down. Hope to God not. If we do go down, then don't be surprised if he leaves, because I can see that for a Prem job.
Sharky saying, Cooper.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, bring that Sharky one back up. Sorry.
Yeah, I've got it. There you go.
Sharky saying Cooper will be gone in the next 10 days unless we get a win against Wolves. Mr. M likes attacking / decent football, and we are negative. Look, on that point, I think he's in trouble if we lose to Wolves, and maybe then he might get stretched out to Leeds. Yeah, but I will say it's too late. He has to stay now. He's got to see this one through. Yeah, he should have gone in the World Cup break. For me,
the worst thing is we've missed out on Roy Hodgson now. Damn it.
Thank God. Yeah, I think he should stay. He should see it out.
Yeah. Jonathan says Cooper nearly got sacked in October. The difference being, though, October you got time. Now you haven't. So if Marinakis was to do it now, then he would panic. There's more chance, should I say, that he would panic than not panic. And Keith says, and Keith's right, nothing would surprise him. Anything could happen.
Another thing that you do have to consider is you have to have a replacement ready.
Yeah.
It ain't that easy. You have to have a replacement ready.
Yeah, it's not going to be a successful replacement, is it? A previously successful.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're going to
get. We're going to take a league winner out of the job and bring him here.
But Ant, if this talk is true about the ex Valencia manager, then obviously they are having those thoughts in the background. Yeah. And Sharky with the £4, you absolute legend. Cooper is in trouble, but I love you guys. We love you too, Sharky.
£4, Andrew Sharp. Cooper is in trouble, but I love you guys. Can you guys hear that
in the chat?
I love her voice.
Not as good as Alexa. Anyway, okay, so yeah, that's what I think about Cooper. Look, I am worried about Wolves. Let's just take a deep breath first, and let's go back through what we had a look at into. That's not what I want. Sorry, I want to bring up the predictions that were made. Okay, so this was for the first set of the games, and I was told I was negative because I ended up on 8 points. Yeah,
me too.
Bloody hell, Lemmy got to 12 points. You lot in the chat got to 11 points. Yeah.
It's Crazy Cat Lady in because she said I was negative. Crazy Cat Lady,
yeah,
you're there.
I don't know. She's in. I know she's in.
Did, yeah.
So
I'm
still
behind on those points.
The worrying thing is, even me, Mr. So-called negative fake Forest fan, only been a Forest fan because I started a YouTube channel, playoffs, blah, blah, blah. Even with my so-called background, 8 points is way off, man, isn't it?
Yeah, what did the chat say? 11. Is that 11?
Chat went 11 points. Lemmy went 12, man. Sai went 9. The rest of you all went 9. Here we go. We'll all beat Wolves, says Brett. I just want to run through these. So, on the Fulham one...
We've all got down, other than you, for a win against Wolves, lot.
I got a draw for Wolves, mate.
But everybody else got a win.
Yeah, but who do you trust? Who do you trust on current form? I don't know. The good thing is I'm usually wrong.
Yeah, Wolves let in 4 in their last game, and they got 2 players suspended because they were sent off. So it's not all doom and gloom, is it?
I don't think so. You know what's giving me the most hope? is our back four. I like it. I really like it. If it stays fit for me, there's a foundation to build on. It's absolutely crazy good, that back four.
How's Bolly's injury doing, by the way?
Bolly's gone, man. He's 3 months. He was a 3-month.
Did everybody in the chat see Awoniyi training this week? Didn't see a ball at his feet though, but he was definitely.
He was doing diagonal runs. I can confirm that. Oh crap! Oh no! Oh, the layers in the way.
Yeah, took it off.
Crypto with the 9.99, the absolute legend.
Crypto rider. Have a pint each on me. Thumbs up. Spend a lot of time watching your streams. Always good entertainment.
Cheers, buddy. And it was fantastic to see you last week. Or was it the week before? The time's flown by now. So thank you so much for that donation, bud.
Week before last, wasn't it? In the pool.
And I hope you're not having to watch any more foreign movies with subtitles, mate. Yeah. If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
It's a bit like Zorro.
Yeah. Sorry, what were we talking about? We were talking about this Wolves game.
Bolly, back four. You thought the back four was to give you hope.
They do, because you can build a foundation. For me, you always build a team from the back, and you're nodding away. Are you with me on this four horsemen?
I mean, if Niakhate's injury has gone and he can get back to what we think he can be, then I think that's a fantastic back. I mean, really, really top quality back four. So yeah, I'm absolutely delighted. We need to score goals.
How about the boys that went to wear an international duty? Did Niakate go?
Yeah, he got his debut. He played for all of 1 minute.
Which we're delighted about. That's enough.
Yes, that was 1 minute too much for me. He got subbed on the 90th minute. And
mind you, subbing him on the 90th minute is dodgy because it's getting to extra time. He could just put his hand up and,
Marinakis money talks again then, huh? Just play for a minute.
And then you had Morgan Gibbs-White. Congratulations, captaining the under-21s team as well, getting an assist. Fantastic, the legend. You also had Aurier. Now, Aurier is the interesting one. He went off early in the first half, and there is talks that he's injured. I don't know what the scan is. I don't know if they're going to scan. There was talks that it was just a replacement. There's all kinds of malarkey going on with this. But would that worry you guys if Aurier was injured? Because our deputy is Deputy Williams.
Oh, yeah.
He's all right, Williams.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, he's all right. But
he gets a tackle. He's okay.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as you make out.
No.
Really?
I agree.
I
agree.
Yeah.
He has got a future. He's a decent player.
He's had some decent games. He's filled in at left back, running at right back. He's even filled in on the right wing.
Yeah, as a young boy, he's been brought on here, there, and every bloody way. He's got a lot to learn. He's not played much in the Premier League. Give him a chance. He's okay. As a matter of interest, because I must admit to being ignorant of this, which international team does Aurier play for? Is it Ivory Coast or
Ivory Coast?
Yeah, it's Ivory Coast, is it?
Yeah. So he's got played. Look, what's good is that games are being played. You know what's funny is who got dropped. Ayew got dropped. You know why? Houghton is in charge.
He's a forward player, no chance.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that might be why. But look, and then Mangala as well. Here's another one. He didn't survive the match for Belgium. Now Belgium have got a talent.
He never does.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, do you think is there still something underlining with him and his fitness? It's starting to get a bit worrying, man.
I'm surprised he could get in that Belgium side. To be brutally honest, from what I've seen.
You say that, but they've had an aging side, haven't they? Because they've had Fellaini in there.
They've got a new manager as well, haven't they?
Yeah, because old ex-Everton boy, what's his face, has gone, hasn't he? What's his name?
He's gone to Portugal now.
What's his name? What's the ex-Belgian manager?
Senior Mangala, is it?
Nah, I can see his face, the beady eyes. Martinez, not Martinez. Chat, help.
No, you're looking at Wolverine. That's why you can see his face with beady eyes.
No, it's...
Thank you, Dino. That's very kind of you.
Right, I love you. I love you.
Oh, chat. What was the ex-Everton manager who went to Belgium called? Please.
I can't remember his name. It's like...
It's Martinez, some kind of Martinez. It's Martinez. It is Martinez.
Oh, yeah, Martinez.
It is Martinez, isn't it?
Martinez.
Yeah.
Martinez.
Yeah, no, he has got beady eyes, hasn't he? You're right.
He has got
yeah.
beady eyes. Yes, I was
Yeah,
right. You
yeah.
see, I do know some stuff about football. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Space Fighters.
First name. Roberto.
Roberto Martinez. There we go. So we know what we're doing.
Get your
Hey,
hustle on, man.
Esmundo's in the house. Is he coming on? Anyway, okay. So let's get back to the football here, right? Because
Yeah, where we're getting these 3 wins from.
Oh my God, Andy with another gifted membership. Has everyone been paid today or something? What is going on? You chat are crazy nice. Thank you so much, Andy, for the gifted. And of all the people to get it, it's the legend himself, D Chapo. My man, D Chapo. Give some love to Andy. It's good to have you on board. He deserves that. Good pull there from Andy. Thank you so much, Andy. And Chapo, please make sure you congratulate the legend that is Andy. Okay, I want to get back to this Wolves game, right? Because I've always said I like Wolves. Yeah, I think they've got a good team. They play decent football. They just can't score for shit, right? But they've also got these 2 red cards. Now, is it their most prolific players? I think it's Johnny and someone else who got sent off. So they'll miss out on it, yeah? But do either of you two, let me start with this question. Ant, do you see Wolves going down this season?
Well, it's one of those funny ones, isn't it? Far too good to go down. They've got all these good players. And yet, are they same points or 1 point above us? So, people always expect them and West Ham, they expect them to all of a sudden become good teams again. But they've not shown it in 25, 26 games. There's nothing certain to say that all of a sudden Wolves are going to start. I understand why people are saying it, because they have got good players. But we've got good players. Lots of teams have got good players. If you're not doing it, there's no... And people like, what's his name? Their most valuable player.
Navas.
He's going to be lucky. He's going to move, isn't he? So how invested is he going to be for the rest of the season? Is he going to get to a stage where he thinks, I can't be bothered? A lot of those players they brought in, they were expecting to be challenging for Europe. Are they going to start thinking, hang on, I don't want to be in a relegation scrappy. I don't fancy this. So you never know. I don't think they'll go down, because I think there are 3 teams that are going to get less points than them. But I do get a little bit tired of this rhetoric of they're going to go on a good run. They're going to get out of it, because they've had plenty of time to do that, and they haven't.
Okay, Dino. I wish people would stop agreeing with Ant. And guys, stop putting comments in about Ant in the comments. I have to go through those, and when I start seeing Ant is right, yeah, I know something's wrong. And the other thing I know that's wrong, there's nearly 200 of you in here and 75 likes. Please do hit that like button if you forgot.
Take no notice of the bitter, twisted old man.
Dino, Wolves, are you worried? Oh, not worried because you don't care, but do you think they could go down is probably the right question.
It's going to go right down to the wire for all teams, I think.
I don't want any fence sitting.
I'm not fence sitting. I'm giving you an answer. Just because I've not said yes or no, which would make for a very boring stream, by the way. So shut your face and listen, right?
Wait, I just can't. I can't take anything seriously when Dino. Look at these comments. Ant is always right. You should listen to him a lot more.
Because he's old. That's why, and I'm second oldest, and I'm next right. You're the youngest, and you don't know jack shit.
Gregory says agree, Ant. You see, I just love Sharky. I love Sharky. Yeah, Wolverine is right, Ant is left.
A few weeks back, Bournemouth were gone. We weren't even in the we weren't even saying we weren't even counting Bournemouth in there. Now they've got 24 points, 2 points behind us. Southampton's picked up. It's going to be like this, and it's whoever can get wins. I know that sounds stupid, but everybody's drawing the odd one. Yeah, but the 3 points for a win. I don't know why I fucking bother, you know what I mean?
No, I just love that line. I know it sounds stupid. I love that line. It's the best line you've ever come up with.
3 points for a win. Oh my God, it's so important right now. And 2 of those makes a huge difference.
All right, but Dino, check this, right? This is the Wolves running. They got us, then at home to Chelsea, at home to Brentford, away to Leicester, Palace, Brighton, Villa, Man U away, Everton, and then away to Arsenal on the last game. That's a taste.
When you're down there, they're all hard run-ins.
Correct.
It's a tough
No,
one.
Honestly, all
there's
those
this
clubs from
narrative.
sort of 13th down, they're all hard run-ins
Yeah,
because
there's this
people are better
narrative,
than us,
isn't there?
or they're either better than us, or statistically, or we're fighting with teams around us. So there's no easy, and sometimes it'll be easier playing like we've seen in recent weeks with some of the freak results against the top teams with the lower teams. So I don't think run-ins make a difference. It's whether you show up on the day. It's whether you've got the balls on the day to match player for player on the pitch.
Okay, let me ask this question. Go on, Andy. You want to make a point?
Yeah. I've watched a lot of YouTube channels recently discussing who's going to go down, and we're always the pick to go down. And a lot of them cite the running, but I think that this narrative confuses me a bit because quite often as the season goes on, it's a bit different this season, but it's not necessarily easier to play a team fighting relegation than it is to play a team that's not got a lot to play for. And that comes towards the end of the season. So people will say, oh, look, Forest have got, Brighton at home, whereas Palace have got Leicester. Oh, easy win. Well, no, it doesn't work like that because teams that are fighting for relegation can pull out some shock results. So, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let me ask you this and the chat. Chat, I want one team. If you had to put your mortgage, your life savings, your kids, your missus, well, assuming you like them, on one team to guarantee go down, right? I'm not asking for 3 here. 1. Who is that guaranteed team for you? Let's start with Dino.
Bournemouth.
I
just don't think they've got the depth. Squad depth. It's fortunate that we have, isn't it, really?
You think? Okay. And, I mean, everyone in the chat has gone Southampton, apart from Spacebar, who's gone Sunderland. Crypto's gone Everton. There's so many Southampton and boring mouths. Wow, loads here. And which way are you swinging?
Bournemouth. But Bournemouth and Southampton, most people will say, and that's, look at where they are. As I say, every podcast I've watched has said Bournemouth, Southampton, and Forest. So, there you go. But I would say, if I had to put money on one team, it would be Bournemouth.
James, how you doing? What's your response to Twitter about your channel? What bit, man? The good bits, the bad bits, the indifferent. Let me know. I don't know. Look, I think Southampton are going to find a way. And I'm going to change my mind on Boring Mouth. I want them to stay up. No, seriously, I do. Now, hear me out. You want to hear my logic, right? Assuming Forest stay up, I want Bournemouth to stay up. So that next season, there's already one crapper team than us. That's just my logic on it. That's how I feel about them now. So I've just gone. I guarantee you, yes, Pat, well remembered. Remember Wolverine said Palace before anyone else. Palace had gone. Palace are done. Can I just get some acknowledgement? I called Palace out when I still had black hair, man. When I still had black hair, I called Palace out.
Yeah. When you were 20, I think.
Yeah, exactly. It's been nearly a year.
Yeah,
I think this Roy Hodgson appointment is going to screw them up even more. I mean, Dino, what do you think about this Roy Hodgson?
I don't get it, mate. I really don't get it. You can't stand him for a start, and there's quite a lot of foreign players there, so, poor Roy. I mean, he's just, I don't know, he's one of these old school managers, isn't he? He really is. Well, we'll see. We'll see, but it's a bit like Sven-Goran Eriksson-esque, isn't it? That's how that feels.
That's a name from the past, man.
Yeah.
But
I think it's a shocker. I think it's an absolute shocker. Crystal Palace, they've got a very young team full of young black kids. They have got absolutely nothing to relate to a 75-year-old white man. Not only that, there's an echo, by the way. Not only that, Roy Hodgson took his last job. He took Watford down. Where's his credentials?
Roy at Watford.
Roy at Watford. Where's his credentials? Football's moved on.
He took England to a World Cup, mate.
Oh, piss off! I cannot see any logic behind that decision. Really, I mean, can you imagine if it was us and we got rid of Cooper and brought Hodgson in? Jesus. I'd be going ballistic.
I'd probably take Houghton over Roy any day of the week. I think, mate.
He's 75 years old.
Yeah, but that's not the point. I think the problem
it is a point. It's about relatability, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, footballers like to relate to their manager. How can they relate to this guy? It's like what are you on about? Defend. What?
Look, what I will say is there an argument to say he knows the club because he's been with them before and he's done all right?
The club's changed.
Is there any argument in that either of you would buy?
No.
Different players.
Stuart Pearce knew our club and it didn't work. You know what I mean? And Stuart Pearce knew our club a lot. You know, it's irrelevant.
That's a shame that didn't work though.
It is a shame, yeah. It's
so would either of you put Palace down as at least a maybe to go down?
Definitely. Why not? They've not won this year.
Yeah.
They went 3 games without having a single shot on target. Why wouldn't you?
But on the flip side, we've not lost at home since September, and now that's gone.
Yeah, thanks, Dean.
So, like I said, no, it's literally just who turns up.
I'll tell you what, I've never seen.
Try and push for those wins. That's important.
Again with Palace, and they're quite right when they say they've had a shocking run of difficult fixtures.
Yeah.
And from now on, it'll get easier. So these people are saying it's easier for them to play another relegation battling side. Well, again, it doesn't always work like that, does it? You know?
Yeah, it's the problem Palace have with this. I agree they have the easiest fixtures. I'll just quickly shout them out. So they got Leicester, Leeds, Southampton. I'm not going to say home and away. Southampton, Everton, Wolves, West Ham, Spurs, Bournemouth, Fulham, Forest. Definitely the easiest quote unquote run. However, it's the most costly. Because let's just say
6 pointers in there.
Exactly. If they go and lose to Leicester and Leeds, let's say their next 2 games back to back, then they've thrown themselves into a chasm, man. That's the problem with it. Sometimes you need a big boy in there just to throw a little, a free hitter in there, so to speak. So I think it's actually, although they look easier on paper, the pressure on these games are huge.
Yeah. Agreed. 100%. 6 pointers.
I mean, with there being so many teams involved in the relegation battle, there are so many 6-pointers anyway. It's crazy. Everybody's going to be taking points off each other. I just hope we take points off someone.
I
did criticize.
And 3 results on a spin would be lovely.
No. Let me just address that. I didn't criticize. You're wrong. I didn't criticize Everton appointing Dyche. I said, in all likelihood, he will keep them up. What I said was, I can't stand the man's football. I don't think he's a great manager because he doesn't play good football. I never said that he was a bad appointment for Everton.
Just very quickly, everyone's talking about this crap on Twitter. Are they talking about the thing with the pricing thing? Where everyone is like, oh, you don't go to matches and all that.
Little surprised, you cheeky beggar.
Look, all we'll say is this. If people want to talk about us on Twitter, you have our blessing to talk about us on Twitter. If you want to say good stuff, if you want to say bad stuff, if you want to lie about us, if you want to, make false accusations, you have our blessing to do it.
I mean, let me just address it very quickly. Somebody basically accused us of not being real Forest fans, trying to make money out of the club. It costs us money. Trust me, it costs us money to do this. So I just explained that we put a hell of a lot of work and effort into what we do. We're Forest fans. We love our club. Not everybody's going to like our style. We're quite, on the edge. But that's the way we feel. We're real fans.
The word, yeah.
You're a fucking donkey on the edge, you are.
We talk like we would talk if we were sitting in the pub together. There's no bullshit. Yeah. We're not going to butter everybody up so that we can get ins to the club and ins to players like that. We are who we are.
Exactly. It's spot on, man. Martin's saying, I love the Twitter account. Twitter giving you free advertising. Exactly. Look,
you don't matter about advertising for me. Everybody, there's so many channels out there, and there's something for everyone. So if this isn't your thing, move on, because there are other things. There are other channels that do different types of content.
Precisely.
We only want people here that enjoy our community.
If you don't like what we do, don't watch.
You
don't have to go
onto a
public forum. Tell everybody you don't like us. What's
No,
wrong
you
with
can do it. Do it. I don't.
Yeah. He's talking for but I'm saying from a human point of view, what's wrong with these people? Why, if they don't like something that other people do like, by the way, we're the fastest growing and most viewed Forest fan channel, so people do like what we do, but that person doesn't, and he has to go on and tell everybody how shit we are. Why? What's your problem? Just if you don't like us, don't watch us. Simple.
Exactly. And as Dino says, there's something for everyone on there. But what I like is that the ones who hate us the most are the ones who are sitting there watching minute in, minute out. And thank you for watching. We do appreciate you. Well, people say, yeah, where have you been, Si? Where have you been? I think I spoke to you for a couple of days. Yeah, and that's exactly it, Martin. Rent-free in some people's mind. Anyway, we want to talk about Forest. This isn't about us. It never needs to be about us. It's just about our opinions, your opinions, and just having a chat. As Ant said, it's just like we're sitting in a pub having a chat. No one here. I haven't heard Ant claim he's right. I've heard you guys claiming Ant's right. I haven't heard Dean claim he's right either. I haven't yet claimed I'm right tonight. But this is the thing. We're just going to have a chat. So on Palace, all three of us, I think, are in agreement they're in big trouble, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that guy. Jolly Ollie is an absolute legend. I hope your missus is all right, Jolly Ollie. The other team that I think could be in trouble is our mates, Jason's Lawless. By the way, just before we talk about West Ham, Beat the Drop will be happening weekly. For those of you guys, we've been looking at your feedback. You guys said you've loved it. We've also added a Crystal Palace and a Wolves YouTube thingy-majiggy into it as well. It's going to be hellacious to put it all together. So make sure you tune in for it. We hope you like it. But it won't be this Monday because obviously the international break. It will be starting from next Monday and then every Monday into the run-in at 8 p.m. So make sure you don't miss that. So from next Monday, 8 p.m. I want to talk about our mates because we do love them, Lawless and Jace, yeah, but we love giving them stick. Dino, do you think West Ham could seriously go down? They're 18th right now, one win in the last 5 or 6. That was against us, by the way.
Exactly,
Do you guys in the chat think they could go down as well?
I don't. I don't. I think they've got some quality in there. And they turned us over, didn't they? To be honest, so I think they've only got to do that 1 or 2 more times. They'll be fine. They're just on they're just on a rocky ride at the minute. I think they'll be fine. They've got a game in hand as well. I think they might have a game in hand.
It's against Man City away. I wouldn't class it as a game in hand. Yeah,
Man City at home, not so bad, but Man City away, I wouldn't fancy that.
Ant, does Europe?
You know what? You could throw a blanket over all of them for me. Any one of us could go down, and that includes Forest, because we've not really said that.
We'll talk about Forest. We're not going to shy away from it. We'll talk about it in a second. But I want to ask Ant this question. Is playing in Europe going to cost them in this Eurovision Cup?
Could well do, although it's such a worthless cup, but it could well do. Because there are players there, again, I go back to what I said earlier, there are players there like Paqueta, Scamacca, people like that, who did not go there for a relegation battle. They went there to get to Europe, at least to challenge for a European place at the top of the Premier League, and maybe win that shitty cup, I don't know. But do you think they're built for a relegation battle? Do you think that they're that invested in West Ham United as a club to actually want to stay there and do the job? I'm not so sure. Also, I go back to what I said earlier. With respect, they've been on a 26-game bloody rocky patch. You know what I mean? Why is it going to all of a sudden turn around? I watched a podcast again earlier.
I didn't mean a rocky patch this season. Sorry, I just meant a rocky season.
Yeah. So I watched a podcast earlier on, and the West Ham guy on there, who's a big YouTuber, he says, "Look, we're down. We're down." He says, "I can see it. We're down. The players have no faith in the manager."
Was that Nicky?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I saw that. Shout out to Nicky, by the way. We love him as well.
Yeah, he says he's got no faith in the manager. They don't want to do what he's asking them to do, and they're going down. Now, that's his feeling. He sees them more than we do. Again, we go back to that thing of, well, look at the players. But if the players don't want to be there, and if the players aren't performing, it doesn't matter how good they are. We've seen that ourselves. So I do tend to think they're going to scrape scrape through, but I've got no real reason for that apart from the fact that it's West Ham and they've got some good players. But if they were Bournemouth doing the same thing, I wouldn't be saying that. I'd be saying, yeah, they could well go down. We all get a little bit caught up sometimes in a team's name, don't we? That team can't go down. West Ham can't go down. But look at them; they've been shit. And yes, they did beat us, but as I say, that doesn't count because we're away from home.
There's been some. Sorry, Wolverine, on.
No, go on. Saying hi to Graham.
There's been some lovely comments about Beat the Drop. I thought that was fantastically put together, and obviously with Wolverine and Ant there. And it was nice for me to watch that in the background and just see the other supporters.
Yeah.
Almost in more panic than we were in a way.
Yeah.
Weren't they, a lot of them? They're absolutely crapping themselves that they go down. And there we're thinking is, oh, God, are we in free fall? But they're all in the same boat as we are, guys. If you've not watched that, I think it's still available, isn't it? So
yeah.
Watch.
It's
watch.
A real cracking point you make. And I hope that came across to the rest of the chat, because when we were discussing it in FFTV HQ, figuring out what types of shows we wanted to do, the idea of that was to lift our fan base, if you like. But at the same time, each of those fan bases will get a lift when they see the depression of the other fan bases. So that's really why we wanted to do it. And to be honest, they're all cracking lads as well. We get on really well with all of them. So we do ask if you do enjoy that, make sure you tune in and obviously like it when it comes on and stuff. But it's a real hard one to organize. I mean, getting 11, 12 people's diaries clear at the same time is an absolute nightmare. So big shout out to all the other YouTubers who have committed the time going forward now. But all we ask is that you make sure you tune in. And yeah, I mean, Chappie's a quality guy.
Big shout out to Ez on there for me. A big unsung hero there.
Yeah. So Ez has put it all together. Big shout out to Ez. Ez will probably be hosting it in a few weeks' time as well. And then I think Dino and Ant will be representing Forest. Depends who's less suicidal at the time. But that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, it's and I think just making it bantery as well always helps.
I'm too mild to be on there. You need Ant. You need your Ant to be the Forest.
And Chappie's little laughs you could hear throughout. It had me. He's a lovely guy. He's a lovely guy, and he's depressed. I mean, again, I'm sure we'll talk about Leicester. Last 5 games, 4 losses and a draw. Not good.
Well, let's talk about them. Go on. Yeah, are they in trouble?
Yeah, they are in trouble.
We're all in trouble.
Yeah, we're all in trouble. You're right. We're all in trouble. Nothing truer said. We're all in trouble. Yeah, but all through the season.
11 team Premier League next year because they've said, "Oh, you're all shit. You're all going down."
But again, all through the season, everybody's been saying the same thing. We've got too many good players. They're not going to go down. But look at where they are. Look at what they've produced. Again, where is the guarantee that they're going to turn it around and all of a sudden be good? You know, and if Madison gets injured, well, I think you can just forget it. You know what I mean? So, again, yes, they are in trouble and they could go down.
But let me put this to you. Every single weekend, everyone is going to feel different. Like if you look at Mike, as in Everton Mike, he was swinging his piece around, wasn't he? Because they got a point against Chelsea. Yeah. Oscar's very nice anyway. Oscar won't really wind it in. But if I was coming in off a 4-2 win off Wolves, I'd have been swinging as well. Yeah, but Oscar is just too lovely a guy to swing. He's very humble. I just think it's going to be like that over the next few weeks. And if any team puts back-to-back wins together, you can cross their name off the battle list. You know, we're going to have to take them off the show. Hopefully it's us.
I don't know if you could just go to your WhatsApp, the group one, and then I don't know if you could share that on screen. That's because quite interesting. It's the last 6 games form, but with all the wins and losses and draws shown. I don't know if you could show that.
Yeah, talk amongst yourselves. So I'll get it
sorted. We have to look at that because I've got a kind of feeling we're not going to fare too well in that one.
It's literally almost upside down.
All right, let's do this. Hold on. Hi.
I just saw it and I just thought it was interesting.
Hi. Okay. You wanna do this? We'll do it. Okay.
Let's do it.
All right, Dino, you can talk us through it.
Yeah. Okay.
Go for it.
Is that you can't see the bottom? Can you see the bottom? I don't know if you can see the bottom there. There you go. Right, well, that's not good for us, is it? But you're right about Palace. They're really, really struggling. But then you look at the other side, the Southampton, look at them. 8 points from 6. That's what you need to stay up.
Yeah.
The Everton as well, Bournemouth. And then you're looking at a completely different 4 teams than we were looking at before at the bottom. You know,
It's
we'd almost
scary, mate.
You know, it is scary because another 3, 4, 5, 6 games like that. Those 3 at the bottom are done. You know, there'll be no going back. So I think it'll flip around again. I really do, which is why I said earlier you could throw a blanket over it. It's just the odd win there out of those from Southampton. There's just the odd win there here and there, isn't there? Everton 2 wins in 6, 2, 1, 1, 1, and then Palace, Forest no wins.
Wolves are down there as well, mate, aren't
Pretty
they?
scary. Palace and Wolves, yeah. I mean, look at that bottom 3 there, last 6.
Because this is quite similar to your table. I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
So you're asking me?
Yeah.
That's not a surprise. But the thing about it is, as we've already mentioned, it can all change. You know, Forest win against, win against Wolves, and that's easy, obviously to say win against Wolves and Leeds. And all of a sudden, we're sitting here with a cigar on. You know what I mean? It's like it can change so quickly. And also, as I mentioned earlier on, a lot of those teams are playing each other. Somebody's dropping points somewhere. You know what I mean? So we'll have to wait and see, won't we?
Who do we have to beat, though, Adam? Who do we have to beat? Because we do need to start taking 3 points.
Yeah.
Well, you know my mantra that there's no such thing as a must-win game until it's mathematically effective, and I maintain that. I mean, for example, look at Bournemouth. You look at their recent run. That included a win over Liverpool. I'm sure that even their own fans didn't put that down as a 3 points win. You know what I mean? They would have put, well, we're going to lose that one. So that's football. That's how it goes. However, I am, for the first time since the Leicester game, starting to get a bit. Well, you know, I've been very bullish about we're staying up. We've got a great squad. We're staying up. We're staying up. We're staying up.
Yeah.
For the first time since then, I am worried.
That worries me that you're worried, Dan.
Yeah, well, the biggest hope that I've got is that we are getting players back, and I think that can make a difference. As we mentioned earlier on, like Niakate, if we can get that defence solid, it will be solid. We're not going to let a lot of goals in. If Taiwo could come back and pick up where he left off, that could be massive for us. You compare having Taiwo there. No disrespect to Chris Wood, but who would you pick? You know what I mean? So
we didn't bring it up on that table though. The goals for out of all those teams from 11th Southampton in the form table down. There's not much in it. It's the goals against that's the killer for Forest.
So if we can tighten that defence up,
they're all 9, 10, 8. We're 14.
You mentioned a very important point earlier on, which was mocked a little by Wolverine about wins. I know what you mean. You're better off winning,
I know, it was
winning one. Yeah, winning 1 and losing 2 than you are drawing.
I said it was his best line ever. What are you talking about? It was funny.
That's not difficult.
And the interesting thing is, I was going to point out, is apart from, I think there's 2 teams, I can't remember which, I think it might be Wolves and Leicester possibly, who have got 7 wins. Everyone else has got 6 wins. Nobody's better than anybody else in getting wins. We're all on 6 wins. So it's
Wolves and Leicester. Yeah,
Wolves and Leicester. Yeah. So they're the only 2 that got 7 wins, and if we beat Wolves on Saturday, whatever day it is next week, we play Saturday. If we beat Wolves, and all of a sudden we've got the same as Wolves.
The only way I can see is getting 9 or 10 points.
Wolves are this super team that shouldn't be there. And we'll have
the only way I can see is getting 9 or 10 points is actually by going for a win. Not
literally what I was going to ask you next. Yeah, let's move on to that, Dino. Go on.
Because even if you go for the win, you don't quite get it, you then might have got the backdrop as a draw. So I'd like to see us being a bit more positive, like I've seen us in the last couple of games, to be fair to Cooper and the team. But we have to go for wins. Home and away, we've got nothing to lose away. Nothing. We may as well really go for it away and shock the crap out of people.
Agreed. And it would, you know what, Dino? It would shock the opposite as well, because they will be set up for us to play a low block. So if we did go out there and actually attack, they wouldn't be set up for us.
Let's be honest, Dan, we're not going to stay up a goal difference this year.
Well,
that's a huge point. That's a huge point.
We are to finish level on points with Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Because our goal difference is better than Bournemouth. So
who I've got as going rock bottom.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Can I just point out something here? I don't know if there's something wrong with my other laptop, but the likes have been stuck on 91 for like half an hour. Can we get
I know a guy that
Bloody
can fix
hell.
laptops.
It's not your laptop. You're right. Can we get 8 of you just to tick the old like button, please? As Sharky with the £2. Our salary for a YouTube mod is the average salary.
£2, Andrew Sharp.
I'll
Our
let Lex
salary
say it.
for a YT moderator is £24,833. Oh my.
Oh my, indeed. Oh my, hopefully we'll be back soon. He's still recovering, so much love out to him as well.
99. Go on, one more. Go on, one more.
We got the 100 and
I've not liked it myself.
So can we
There we
celebrate
go,
100?
100. Well done, guys.
I can
we
think of one
celebrate?
way to celebrate 100. There can only be one
That's the
way.
fourth musketeer, Zorro.
Here comes Zorro. Here comes Zorro. How are you, buds?
I'm good, guys. How are you? I'm
You
good,
know
man.
what? You know the normal
Oh,
milk
okay.
tray outfit you've got on. Is that the scuba diving version? That one?
He's frozen and he's like,
yeah. That's the Aquaman version. Yeah.
Come on, version.
oh bloody hell! Here come the Ez emojis in the chat now. Oh my god, man! Yeah, I'm gonna try something. I think it's gonna lag, but I'm gonna try it for a minute. Let's just see if that lags. I'm gonna do it, guys in the chat. Tell me if it lags. All right. Anyway, I just love it. Let's talk about this Wolves game, right? So we've got to play this one hard. Yeah, we have to go for the win. What's so funny?
Dino did his.
I was doing that from my old clubbing days. That's why I didn't pull ever.
They don't even big fish, little fish cardboard box, mate. That's old school, isn't it?
I could never do that. I could never do that. I was not advanced.
Can we get a Zorro emoji? You got to ask Mr. CEO Ez there. Is it like it's not lagging, is it? I think we may have fixed our.
right.
We can go to the next level now on this
You know, when
stuff.
Ant rants, can you make the heart pump go quick, like higher?
Yeah, when Ant starts talking.
Alert. Or Ez rants, obviously, he's joined there.
Ez. A forest going down.
Yes. Evening, guys.
What?
Oh, I thought you were saying yes to Forest.
No, not going down. No, we're not going down, mate. No. We'll do
Are you
enough.
confident?
We'll do enough. It won't be pretty, but we'll do enough. No, confident would never come into the equation, mate. I can't say I'm confident, but I think we'll do enough. And like I say, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be a grind, and it might go down to the last game, but we'll stay up. I think
it will go to last game.
There's worse teams.
It'll be interesting to see how many people are in that last game scenario, because I think this year will be like not a couple. I think it might be quite a lot.
Yeah, but Dino, have you
There's
seen
a few
the
games
fixtures?
where they're playing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Premier
pulled my
League
own
said-
muscle there, Johnny, unfortunately.
The Premier League said today that this is in the history of the Premier, and it's not surprising, but it's they put it out there that this is the most teams have had involved with the smallest points gap at this point of the season ever. There's 4 points between 12th and bottom. I mean, it's ridiculous.
But have you seen these fixtures? I know we'll probably address it on Beat the Drop, but you've got Everton against Bournemouth. You've got Crystal Palace against Forest. And you got Leicester versus West Ham. So 6 out of the 9 are playing each other. The other 3, Leeds have got Spurs, Southampton have got Liverpool, and Everton. Who's the other one? I can't remember who the other team is. That's it, isn't it? Have I missed anyone?
I've got a
Wolves.
question. I've got a
Wolves
question
have got Arsenal. Wolves have got Arsenal.
I've got a question for you guys.
I did dance at the Cookie Club, Martin,
maybe the chat as well. Would you take now, at this moment in time, the chance that we draw at Palace away on the last game of the season?
No.
To stay up?
No.
Would it take it now to stay up?
Oh, no.
That we needed to draw
course I would.
against Palace on the last day of the season?
We
No way.
need a point to stay up. No, I wouldn't say
I was
sorry.
going to say a win,
not
but then I
guaranteed
thought
the
that would be
point.
ridiculous.
I think I would.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't
I
it?
think I would.
Ez, get out and come in, man. Your camera is
I sound
lagging.
nervous. I sound nervous to feel.
I
I
know.
want to know what Ez is going to say
Back in a
first.
sec.
Well, we'll hold his thought. He can go and then come back in. I just don't trust our away form.
Yeah, what about the chat? Would they take needing a point on the last day away to Palace to stay up?
Let's put it in a poll. Let's have a poll on that. What about you, Ant? Answer your own question.
Oh shit! Well, I was gonna first of all, I was gonna say, would you take us needed a win? And I thought, no, that'd be stupid.
It's a real humdinger, that question.
It's a dilemma.
It is a dilemma.
Even though I asked the question, I wasn't expecting it to be asked back.
The greatest psychologist wouldn't have come up with that one.
No, I don't think I would.
I would take that now, that we'd have to go away.
I'm too scared of our away form. I don't think I would take it.
I've said many moons ago that Forest need to be safe before we play Chelsea. Because we got Chelsea, Arsenal, Palace. Yeah. Away, home, away. I have, I don't want to go into those 3 games needing 4 points. That will scare the crap out of me. I don't see 4 points in those games. That's my big worry.
3 points, maybe. And it probably will be that, won't it?
And that means we have to beat Palace. I mean, I know football is football and you're going about your football, yeah? But just go by who is more likely to win. All right, just appease me for a minute. Away at Chelsea, home at Arsenal, away at Palace. Realistically, how many points are in those 3?
For me, 1.
Dino?
2.
Where's the second?
Chelsea.
So Chelsea and Arsenal, and we lose to Palace.
No, Chelsea and Palace. Chelsea and Palace lose to Arsenal.
Ez?
I think I'm going to have to agree with Dino. And that's been optimistic.
That is me being optimistic too.
So, yeah.
I think you're stretching with Chelsea. I'll be honest with you. I think you're stretching. Guys in the chat, from the last 3 games, how many points do you think we can get? Chelsea away, Arsenal at home, Crystal Palace away. I can't see it. That's why I'm worried. That's why I'm worried, because of the last 3 games. You got Sharky saying 0. I'm kind of with Sharky on it, to be honest. Dennis saying, Mark saying 1. Chris saying 1. Crypto saying no, Forest will smash Arsenal 4-0 and get relegated. Yeah, and we'll hand City the title. Mark saying 0. Hold on, one sec. Let me just get these ones in. Andy saying 1. Martin saying 3. Pat saying 1. So I'm assuming the 3s are coming from Palace. I'm assuming. David's gone 4. Bloody hell. I love that optimism. I hope you're right. And Graham saying 3 against Palace. Sorry, Ant, go on.
It's going to be. I mean, I know it's going to sound ridiculous now, but a lot of it could depend on Arsenal. If they've already won the title by then, Man City couldn't beat us. I know they should have done, but you don't. Again, I hate to say it, but it's football. You just never know. I mean, was it Leicester that year when they survived, when they beat Liverpool away, Arsenal away, Man U away, all the big games? Now I know that they obviously had a good team because they went on to win the Premier League the next season, so it's there. But you don't know if Arsenal have already wrapped it up by then. Their players might be in celebration mood and not.
We are showing more fight, though, I think, in recent games. I agree with you, Wolverine, what you said the other week about is one unusual result in us. We'll go and beat.
We're still waiting.
A club that we're not expecting. He was still waiting. You didn't say what season it was going to be.
See, people have said about the Liverpool result. I don't think that was a particularly fantastic result. Liverpool have been shit in a lot of games. They lost.
Yeah.
So I don't think that was as big a result as it would normally be.
It felt big at the time because no one was sure Liverpool were crap, but now they are crap. It's kind of, it's still a good win. It's still a good win.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Stop saying Ant's making good points. On show. Seriously.
Yeah, can we ban him?
So I look. This is my 2 cents on this. Right. This is just how I feel. Forest need to play as if those 3 games don't exist. Forest needs to try and get 9 points out of their next, how many games would it be? 7 games. And play survival like that. What I just feel, my biggest one of my annoyances, they're all quite big, on this season, is I just feel we keep kicking the can down the road. Yeah, we talked at the start of the season. Let's wait for the players to gel. Wait till the World Cup comes. World Cup came and went. Then it was like, okay, we got injuries. Wait till they come back. More injuries came instead of injuries coming back. The road is getting shorter and shorter now. I just want the mantra to be very simple. Next 7 games defines our season. Let's go for them. If we have to, in an emergency, get something out of the last 3 games, then pray. Yeah, but why can't we do that? Why can't we go, as you said, Dino, go out and go for... I would happily lose to Wolves 4-0 than lose to them 1-0 because we've tried to low block them at the City Ground. Surely now Cooper has to go for it.
I don't think that's the game we have to think about in that way. I think the games we have to think about are the away games.
Yeah,
my biggest wish, and I echo Dino on this, my biggest wish is that we just fucking go for it away from home. Because as we've said, it will shock the hell out of the opposition. High press, attack, you know, the midfield
5
further up the
subs.
pitch.
When people are knackered, just bring them off, bring them fresh legs on. Use all the 5 subs.
Okay. Yeah, okay, guys. So then, to do that, do you think we're starting to get back the players that we can do that with? The likes of Taiwo, the likes of...
do you think that is?
Nia Carter. I certainly do. And I think that's what we're kind of... We're pinning all our hopes on it, and it's kind of like what's kept me going, because we knew these players are coming back. It's a shame that we've missed them so much, but I think they'll come good. I think Nia Carter will come good with Felipe in that partnership.
Bears, aren't you doing what I just said, kicking the can down the road?
We've got the players to do it, as...
Well, we've got the
players to do it. Everybody can press. My mum can press as she's in a wheelchair. It's true. But she presses with me behind me. So.
I've missed you, Dino.
Everybody can press. It's just the application or the tactics, the guidance from
this is it. But
the manager, essentially, and the coaches.
Yeah, and I think he's wanted to do that. I genuinely do. I just don't think he's trusted the players that he's had. Now with the players that I've mentioned coming back, I think it'll be wrong for him not to give it a go, because if he doesn't, and then we go down, wondering in a way, then he's only got himself to blame. And I think, like I say, I think he's been waiting for these players to come back, and I know there's been people who've kind of over the last few weeks said they've had enough of him.
Yeah.
Well, you wait. I don't know if you agree.
One at a time.
Go on.
There'll be me and my mum on the bench against Wolves, and then Cooper will bring us on, and I'll bring a big wheels, but the big wheels.
The monster trucks.
A little bit of a battering ram at the front. She'll be there doing a knitting, and I'll be like, "Come on!"
You know what?
As in CDM.
And go on, Anne. I can't. It's going to kill me. Go on, Anne.
I can kind of equate this to a little bit. When Houghton left and Stephen Reid obviously took over, and we changed our style and pressed and went forward, it was like switching a light. And in a way, that's what I want now.
That's called a manager bounce, and that's called a new manager bounce.
No, it was a change of tactics as well. The same players.
Because it was the new manager coming in with his tactics.
You don't need to be a new manager to change your tactics. A good manager will change his tactics where necessary. So, put that out of your mind. My point remains the same, that we changed from being an ultra-defensive side to a more attacking, pressing side. And it worked instantly. Now, why can't we do that again, especially in our away games? Why can't we swap and all of a sudden go on the attack? Maybe that would be the key.
Because, sorry, these comments are killing me. This chat is just ridiculous.
Well, this is where the comment gets... This is where you lose me now. Because you'd ask me a question, I'll say, what? Because I'm reading the comments because it's so funny.
Look, and you make a good point, yeah? But here's my 2 pence on that, right? I don't think Cooper can change them round. I think there's I can't deal with these comments, man. Oh, God. If you're not watching on this podcast later, get on the YouTube channel and just go to the live comments. You will absolutely crack up. Actually, you can't because I forgot to set them. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. I don't think I don't think if Cooper turned to them tomorrow and said, handbrake has been officially granted to be released from you guys, go knock yourselves out, they would know what to do. I don't. You just can't switch it off with a manager.
I disagree with that. I think we have the players.
I know you do.
I think
We do have the players. Yeah.
No, I think we've got the players that can adapt to that style. I think they'd have no problem. In fact, they might feel relieved, as were the players from the Houghton crossover.
What do you think?
I think there's a lot of them with a lot to prove. And the season's not over yet. They all will play their part. MG Dub needs to get back on his game. If he gets back on his game, I'm a lot more confident. But he's got to bring certain players in. He's got to bring Scarpa back into a mix. He's got to bring Danilo back into a mix. God. I've totally gone 180 on this player. He's got to give Dennis a run now. Dennis done enough in the last couple. I know. A good job you didn't have a drink in your mouth, mate. You would have spat it over your screen. But 100%. If players prove me wrong, which is what I've wanted all season, then I'm more than happy. I'm sorry.
I can't take this conversation seriously.
I was listening, honestly.
No, I was. Yeah, so something about your mum and he mate. But no, I think those players have to come in, and those players have to prove themselves as well, and they've got to pay. MG Dub for one. Shall I give him another pep talk because it seemed to work mid-season?
He looked all right today.
I didn't see him. I don't. Was it England? Was it what?
Under 21.
Under 21s. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I didn't even know if he was in there. But that's how much I pay attention to international football. But if he comes back and he's firing, then that's what we need. We need him on form. We need him and Jono and all the other players around them to make it work.
You know what, right? Can I just add a point? Sorry to interrupt you. Dino's gone on that single comment. I press equals Dino's anyway, you know what annoyed me? I don't know if this is going to sound controversial or not. I don't care. I was a bit pissed off that MG Dub got an assist today because he put a delicious cross in. Yeah. All I can think of is, has he wasted an assist for Forest with that, or is that going to help him get better? Do you know what I mean? It's like that you're like, oh man, that could have been
it's like
Chris Wood at the end of it.
It's like when somebody puts a cracker into the top corner in the warm-up. You think, no, don't waste your goal.
Yeah,
you save it. Yeah.
It's like Twist of Fate. I was talking to him after the England match against Italy, and he was like, "Get in there, Luke Shaw. Well done on getting sent off. Now you can't play in the next one for England, and you can come back to United." So it's all that club versus countryman. I'm not going down that debate, but yeah,
you can't knock MGW. He's been brilliant this season.
Oh, I love him.
And even though he's been playing a bit out of form, he's still putting in more miles than anyone else.
But does he need dropping? Does he need dropping?
No.
And
I think, listen, if you drop a player, how do they play themselves back into form? Lingard looks great on the training ground, popping those balls into the little basketball net, one after the other. But how do you play players back into form? You've got to play through.
We ain't got time for players to play themselves back into form.
Huh?
We haven't got time for players to play themselves back into form.
Yeah, but we're not talking about players. We're talking about MGW, who's I'm
not saying drop him. I'm just putting a question out, mate.
Season. So if he takes all the way to Crystal Palace and gets the winner against Crystal Palace, then so be it. But I would play him because he's class.
And would you drop him for Scarpa?
Nobody is too good to be dropped. And MGW has been shocking in the last 5-6 games. I mean, shocking. And he needs dropping.
I don't think he's been shocking. I don't agree with that.
I don't think he's been.
I don't think he's been great.
No, he's not been great.
But I think the international break's done him good, actually. If it wasn't an international break, then I said it on our last stream together, that he deserves, probably not to start a game and give Scarpa a chance. But, I think the international break will make a difference.
Yeah, and if he has had a good game today, that could just be the trigger, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I only saw the highlights. I'm not going to lie.
By the way, I'm not saying drop him because he's a crap player. I'm saying drop him because he's been dreadfully out of form. And we can't carry anybody, not even MGW.
No, not when we've got players like Scarpa itching to get on.
But if he's had a good game for England today, then that's promising.
I'd play Scarpa anyway as well as MGW.
It could really work in our favour.
I would.
He's got that belief back in himself.
I get it. I don't know what I think on it. I'm going to go Ant style here and sit on the fence. I think I agree with Ant. He's been pretty bad the last few games. Yeah. but he's been one of our best 3 players all season. If you look across the season, is it the whole next man up, as Cooper would say?
But that's not what counts, is it? It's no good how good he
Agreed.
was 3 months ago.
Agreed.
No.
He's not been up to his usual form, but he's still better than a lot of the players on the pitch when he's playing a bad game.
Well, let's be straight. As an attacking unit, they've been incohesive and they've been crap. Yeah. Apart from the Hollywood balls, Johnson getting in behind and scoring a goal, MG Dub maybe slotting in a through ball. Let's be honest. The cohesion between the front 4, 5, 6, whatever you want to call them, has been shocking all season. And yeah, I fully agree with Josh. Fully agree.
Yeah, it's a point we've raised, haven't we?
Great point. Point of the night, that one.
Initially, we were saying that MG Dub, Wood playing with MG Dub hindered.
It did. I think it still did.
And I agree, definitely did. And now we're seeing him being bypassed by these Hollywood balls. But
I don't think that's necessarily down to Shelvey. Because he's probably been told to play that ball. He can play a lot of good passes because he's Jonjo Shelvey. He's done it all his career.
Yeah.
But he's probably being said, as soon as you get the ball, I want it knocking over to the right hand side to Jono.
Yeah.
Just quick, and therefore the pass percentage that's bang on is a lot less because it's a Hollywood ball. That's what it is.
Exactly. This is what I love when the chat comes back with some interesting comments. So, and I'm going to push this one your way. So you talked about dropping MG Dub with Wolves coming next. Old club, fired up, finger in ears, playtime, blah blah blah. Would it be a right call to do it for you?
I get the sentiment. I don't think it's mental to say dropping him. I think that's a bit over the top, if I'm honest. To say it's mental to suggest dropping him. I get the point. Maybe it is a good game for him to play in. And especially, as I say, if he's had a good performance for England that's got his confidence back a little bit, it could be the ideal game for him. It could launch him onto the rest of the season and be a superstar for us. So, yeah, I'm not saying definitely drop him. I'm just saying that on his form, I would drop him. But with the caveat that he's played well for England, and it is again. And I was going to say that as well. I was actually going to bring that point up. It doesn't always work that you played great. I remember the glorious Stan Collymore coming to play for Liverpool against Forest at the City Ground. He had a shocker and was subbed on 60 minutes. It doesn't, and he's the greatest player of all time. So it doesn't always work. But I do understand the point. I do take the point, and maybe it would be a good idea to get him in there for that game. Thank you.
I wonder if it wouldn't surprise me if we see Awoniyi now.
I'd love to.
Yeah, I
really.
Oh wait, okay, Dino.
Do you think he'd risk starting him though? Sorry, go on. Do you think he'd risk starting Awoniyi? Because I think that's the type of player you can kind of
forget that question for now. Yeah, Dino, is Awoniyi as good as everyone wants to remember him being? Because I'll be straight with you. I remember the comments on. Hey, Joe becomes a new subscriber. Thank you, Joe, for subscribing to the channel. Much appreciated, buddy. I remember plenty of comments, plenty of 50-50 comments on Awoniyi. I'm not saying you guys have said good or crap. I'm saying in general, the fan base, the chat base, in player ratings, watch alongs or whatever. Is he better because he's been injured, Dino?
There's obviously memories, isn't there, of like a good one game and then he gets injured. It's like, oh, we're going to miss him. He wasn't anywhere near the finished article, and he won't be for the rest for probably another season or two. And he might not ever make being a Premier League striker or a left winger, depending on where Coops wants to play him. I mean, he is a striker by trade, let's be honest. But we are missing him because that forward position has been filled by Wood, who's a target man who needs wingers. And we've tried different people there, Dennis sometimes drifts in there. Ayew sometimes drifts in there. Surridge gets the odd game off the bench, but we've not got a regular striker. And for a Premier League club not to have at least one regular goal scorer, no wonder we're in trouble. So I think one thing that I did like about him playing up front and not on the left is his strength. He's a big lad. He's strong, and he's used to running in behind because that's how he scored most of his goals last season in the Bundesliga. And he would love the likes of Shelvey's balls through and MGW's balls through, Scarpa's balls through. And he is also a bit of a fox in the box. He's in there, in and around the box when the ball's coming across. Yes, he's not got the greatest touch in the world, but, shitting one off his knee, didn't he? And
yeah, well, quite a few. You were there for his last game when he got injured. It was against Southampton, wasn't it?
Southampton, yeah.
Yeah, he was just coming into a little. I used the word purple patch with loose terms. And he was being slapped out on the left, and we were all up in arms about it. But you and Ant was starting to get convinced about this whole left side thing with him. And I can see loads of the guys in the chat are saying he'll chuck him out on the left and what have you. What do you think? What do you think?
I think if he comes back in now, that he won't be chucked out on the left. But I did see him making an impact from there because he was against Chelsea. I think it was the Chelsea game before the Southampton game, and me and Ant saw his contribution that day. When he pressed them, he caused them trouble, and he did it against Liverpool as well. So he started making that position his own. Still don't think obviously it's his best position, but I don't think Cooper will play that now. I think we're seeing the signs of the 4-2-3-1 that we've been asking for all season. He has played it. He hasn't had the right personnel, or he hasn't chosen the right personnel.
Yeah, I know he played well, and but I think he's better up front for us. And I think
100%.
the fact that he made it his own because we've got nobody else in that position. We've not got a natural left winger.
Yeah,
Lodge could play there.
Well,
As my boy Dylan says here,
Dennis can play there.
Yeah. He does play
We've
there.
not got an out-and-out left winger that bombs down that wing, have we?
Dennis.
That's what he is. He's a left winger. Always
that's
has
what
been.
Dennis says. Yeah, it's not.
He's a left inside forward, Dennis.
Well, anyway, let's not get bogged down with that. I agree with what everybody said that Taiwo was definitely showing form that suggested that he could be a good player for us, and improvement was immense. And it's such a shame he got injured when he did. Wolverine's also correct that whenever a player's out, he becomes the best player in the world. I mean, we know that.
Yeah.
You know.
But
I personally would like to see Dennis on the left and Taiwo through the middle. I would like to see that.
Yeah,
I'd give that a chance,
As
definitely.
has been said, they are fellow Nigerians. They do play the national team together and everything. So.
I mean, we've missed him.
Both Nigerians, yeah,
definitely. But we've missed him
Brazilian
because
lads, so that's helped them, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, all these connections do make a difference, and they've got to.
Yeah.
But we missed him so much because what we've had in replacement has been shocking. You know, it's been nowhere near good enough. Wood. But only bright spark I saw was really. I didn't think Ayew was too bad in the last game, but again, we didn't get a result. But he started to do something different. You know, he wasn't obviously the Wood type of player. He's not the Taiwo Awoniyi type of striker either, but he was linking up play and he was keeping their back two occupied, and that's what we needed. Just obviously we were up against a much better team, and we were lucky to come away with a 2-1 defeat against Newcastle. In reflection now, you know, we were all a bit pissed off at the time, but to be honest, they were a better team, and we were lucky it was only 2-1. He should have won by more. It was just the way it happened. But yeah, no, I want you back in. If he's fit to play, I would start him. I just asked the question earlier to see what others would think. But I'd put him straight in. Yeah, shock him. Yeah.
You look at all the teams in the Premier League and us, and look at their main striker and look at their backup. That's one of our big problem positions in terms of numbers earlier on in the year, hence us having to play the false nine. And then the quality, with all due respect to the Woods of this world and the Surridges of this world, they're not A-star Prem quality, are they?
But was it not pointed out earlier on that actually goal scoring is not our big issue compared with the other teams around us?
That's the cracking point.
I've always said goal scoring's an issue.
Yeah, but we've scored.
I've said goal scoring's an
my
issue.
point is we've scored as many goals as everybody else. It's the defense. It's the letting goals in that's been the issue.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do agree with what you're saying, Dino, by the way. I do agree. I'm just putting another point of view that we've actually...
No, but I think you just need to articulate that point because you're onto something. If you look at the... let me just twist it for you, see if you agree with this. If you look at the teams at the bottom...
Forest Ant stuff in the comments, because these bats come up.
Well,
Huh?
what?
Get ready. I'm just saying to the chat, get ready with your Ant spot-on comments.
All right. Okay. No,
I can feel it coming now.
Hold on. Let me land before I forget this point, right?
All right.
The point here is what I think Ant is trying to say is when you look at the teams around the bottom, ask yourself which one of those has a striker who's scoring or can score. If you look at us, we've got Jono, yeah? Whatever you want to think about Jono, he's putting the ball in the back of the net. I then look at West Ham and I see Danny Ings. He can score, yeah?
Yeah.
He hasn't done though, has he?
I'm just saying,
Well,
when you
yeah.
look at goal
Against us, he did.
scorers, when you look at those goal scorers, yeah, and then you look at the rest of the teams in and around the bottom. Palace haven't got a striker. Wolves haven't got a striker. Everton, I mean, Mope, yeah, you're welcome for me kicking off about him. Leeds, Rodrigo, maybe when he's back now fit, but apart from that, they haven't got one. So you have to score the goals.
Southampton haven't got one.
Exactly. Solanke's not scoring for Bournemouth.
Leicester haven't got one.
Exactly. So if you look at the bottom 9 teams, I would say we've got Jono, well, if he's fit with all this BS going on with the Wales thing. And I'd say Ings and maybe Rodrigo in Leeds. Outside of that, I don't see a prolific striker. I think, is that the kind of point you were making, and although we're not scoring...
That's the exact point I'm making. That actually, and it's weird to say, but goal scoring is not our problem. It's letting them in that's our problem. We're scoring as many as anybody else, but we're letting in far more apart from Bournemouth. So that was my point.
And just to go back on the point about replacements, we had to bring Hennessy in for 3 or 4 games. Did we get a single point out of those games? I'm not saying Navas would have saved us in those games, but you've got to look at what we're bringing in, So we haven't had the right players when we've lost key players throughout the season, and that's cost us.
Dr. Fogg, you'll have to send that by letter, mate. or telegram.
In big writing.
Yeah, big writing.
All right, listen, boys. I've just looked at the clock. I don't know how, but we've gone over 1:45 already, which is absolutely crazy. Quick reminder to everyone: the clocks change tomorrow. So make sure I got a football match in the morning, of course. So I'm really happy about losing an hour's sleep. But yeah, we hope you've enjoyed this. It's just been a goodness.
Let me make a couple of points. Because obviously, I joined you guys quite late, unfortunately. But just a couple of points that you took. Well, it's fault of the technology, innit? Bloody updates and all that shit. But anyway, just a couple of points on what I heard you guys talking about just before I came on. One, I'll just make a quick point on it about the Twitter rubbish. Guys, this is about passion. We're passionate Forest fans. And if you want to see passion and you want to see honesty, and you're not always going to agree with our comments, but if you want to see it from the heart, then this is the right place to be. If not, then keep watching and keep commenting. We don't care. But remember that we're passionate Forest fans, and that's what you're seeing when you watch our channel. And the other point, I've fucking forgotten. There was another point. The other point was about... Yeah, I've turned into you, mate. The other point was about about beat the drop, and what we tried to do with that is what Wolverine kind of touched on now. Give you guys a chance to realise that we're not alone in this relegation fight. We're not alone feeling the way we are. There are other teams out there who are feeling just as down as we are, and probably even worse than we are. So hopefully it just gives you guys a bit of context. And yeah, guys touched on it. It's been a lot of hard work getting everybody together, but I'm really proud of what these guys have done. And look out for the show. Well, no, I mean, we all did it because Ant knew all these channels, Ant says, go and check this one, I'll check that one out. You and I got it together. Dino told us not to do it. But we all played our part in this one.
Talk about under the bus.
Say not do that.
No, I don't. No, it was something else you turned down.
Said don't do the live stream here now, right? Was I?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, you were right.
Thank you.
That. No, it's all about FFTV, and we all do it together. And yeah, thank you guys for supporting us, and keep watching and look out for some amazing shows we've got coming up. We've got some amazing guests coming up. We just got to get through these next couple of weeks, and yeah, look out for the shows that we got. And I'll let you sign off now, Wolverine.
I feel a bit emotional now. It's been emotional, Les.
Yeah, it's getting emotional. Just to answer Sai's question, we're currently 7th in the league. If we win tomorrow, we could go 6th. So, but I have promoted them 4 seasons in a row, and now we're in the league where managers get paid. I don't get paid shit, man. Anyway, all right, so we'll wrap up there because I've just seen the time. It's gone crazy late. Thank you for joining, as always. Your comments, as always, have been crazy funny, guys, in the chat. Crazy good, crazy on point.
Yeah, let's give him a round of applause.
Oh, yeah. My mom, come on. She's 93, guys, so it would be fun.
Let's have a round of applause for Dino's mum. High pressing as well. So please don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. Don't forget to, if you want your signed Aurier shirt, it's $3.95. I think there's still a decent amount of tickets left. It only went up for auction yesterday. I think about 50 have sold already. Congratulations as well to the winners of the MGW framed shirt, which went to Antonio. So congratulations to Antonio. Huh?
Antonio Santini.
Congratulations, Antonio. Don't know what your YouTube name is, but obviously you're one of us. So please make yourself known to us. And send us some pictures of it. It'd be great to see. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been so much fun. We'll have a couple more live streams, and we promise we'll be doing a members stream as well, probably before we get back underway against Wolves. So great work from you guys in the chat. Keep it up. We'll see you on the next video. And come on, you Reds.